I woke up this morning to some very exciting news that Japan is actually going to pay you money to visit their country once all of this is over. My friend Marshall sent me an article. You might recognize Marshall from a lot of Japan trips, actually. I feel like he's been pretty much, I'm going to say we've done 5 or 6 Japan trips together at this point. And Japan typically is an expensive trip. We live in Canada, and to get there, it's a big flight. Usually the flight is the most expensive part. Once you're there, hotels and everything, you can find a place to stay for relatively inexpensive, but it's just so far from where we're at here in North America. So if you've been looking for an excuse to go to Japan, there's not a whole lot of details out yet, but they have announced that there's essentially $12 billion, which I would assume is US dollars, to cover people coming to their country. So maybe make a calendar note a month from now to go back and circle back. I'll try to keep the link in the description updated with whatever the most current information is on this. But I 100% recommend that you go. If you saw the last episode, the season finale of the Nikon show, we were in Japan, and now I'm actually going to roll the precursor to the Nikon show. And the reason that the Nikon show ended up happening was because we just self-produced this series called A Photographer In, and that all eventually kind of came full circle and involved Nikon, and we got to do all kinds of cool things at a better production quality. But enjoy this episode from the depths. Mark it on your calendar a month from now to come back. Thanks for watching, and here is the Tokyo, Japan episode of A Photographer In. On this week's episode, we do every tourist activity in Tokyo. Get some ramen, the robot restaurant, ramen again, stay at the Lost in Translation Hotel, play some golf, eat some marshmallow pizza, and see some pandas.
3, 2, 1.
I'm Taylor Jackson. I travel and I take pictures. It's always been my dream to have a travel show, so one day I just woke up and did it. As a photographer, my favorite places in the world to travel to are Queenstown, New Zealand, Positano, Italy, and Tokyo, Japan. I should also mention, on a scale of 1 to cliche, this day is going to be an 11. At sunrise, you have a few options. You can go for a walk around the back alley bars of the Golden Gai in Shinjuku, Shibuya, or head up to the Park Hyatt Tokyo and grab some amazing sunrise shots of the city. A lot of people will suggest that you go to the morning fish market, but in my experience, they are not the friendliest to photographers. By 8:15 a.m., you'll be ready for some breakfast. It might seem weird that we get a heavy bowl of ramen in the early hours of the morning, but I've waited all year for this, and I cannot wait until lunch.
A ramen. And small rice. Oh, extra green onion. Draft beer.
You want a beer?
Yeah, I want that more than I want rice if I have to choose.
Let's see how close we can get.
いらっしゃいませ。ご来店ありがとうございます。ではご購入が終わりましたら前のボタンを押してください。
Norm is surprised that we're eating ramen and drinking beer at 8:30 in the morning. Another good thing about this ramen shop is that it is so close to the pandas over at the Ueno Zoo, so we're gonna walk over there now and go meet the pandas. Also, in Tokyo, you can smoke inside most restaurants, but you cannot smoke on the street.
This is the best thing ever. Oh my goodness.
Panda.
basically is Jurassic World. So we went to the zoo. It was my first zoo, so I'm not really sure if it was the best zoo ever or if I just think it was the best zoo ever, but there were pandas and naked mole rats, so pretty much it was the best zoo ever.
We're heading up to Shabu Shabu inside the giant camera store, and we're going to make our own food and pay for it.
Totally. Is there anything you don't like?
No, love it all.
Okay, I don't want to like mess up here.
I guess I should have asked you.
No, we're not picky. I decided I don't care. I just didn't want to like. Gosh. Whoa, it's real thick.
Shabu? It's called shabu shabu because of the motion. Shabu, 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 shabu.
I like that.
At the robot restaurant. It is the greatest story ever told in Tokyo. I don't know how you design a place that looks like this.
Basically, from the moment that you walk into their ticket booth on the opposite side of the street to getting ushered over here, all you see is glitter. Like on the street, in the store, in the elevator. It's just glitter and LED everywhere.
They still use keys for the room. I don't know how to use a key. Has one of the coolest pools in the world. Was used in the movie Lost in Translation. This is probably the bathtub that Bill Murray bathed in during the movie and the robes that he wore. Other notable features include this cupboard's just full of whiskey. Suntory whiskey. Wasn't a made-up brand for the movie. There's a rooftop driving range over there. Beside the meat slaughtering. Getting the sketchy elevator. Kawaramachi Golf Plaza. Here we are. That was fun. So that's Norm's house there. And now we're getting some golf balls. Sweet. Rooftop driving range experience. It's gonna be demolished next week.
No way. It says all you can drink for 1 hour, 500 yen.
We should probably go to here. Food looks great. That's like bacon on breaded mushrooms with cheese sauce. And a picture of a gun, the Russian roulette menu.
This is octopus balls.
Oh, I don't want that. 2 years ago, Norm and I went around Tokyo and got people to write on paper and hold it up in front of the camera for Lindsay. And now, the idea is a world phenomenon.
Yeah, sure.
Who's in charge of this product design? This is our map. And these are all bars. Breakfast burger. The cheese is black. The sauce is black. The bun is black. The fries are not black. This is a marshmallow pizza. There are marshmallows on that pizza. Thanks so much. If you're not into visiting such large cities, maybe try Kyoto. One of our regrets on this trip was that we could only spend one night here. Lucky for us, the Ritz-Carlton helped us out by giving one of the most amazing places to rest our heads. Their hotel swimming pool is a work of art. After dark, I went for a walk with my 85mm lens and I took some of my favorite photos from the entire trip. Black and white just felt right here for some reason. I first came to Tokyo because of the movie Lost in Translation. When I first saw the movie, Japan seemed like a place that I would never see in my lifetime. I was bussing tables at an Outback Steakhouse with no dreams of running my own business, becoming an entrepreneur, or even a photographer. In the movie, Giovanni Ribisi plays a photographer that was sent to Japan to photograph a band. Before this, it never really occurred to me that something this crazy could be a career option. So thank you, fake photographer from a movie that got me to imagine a life that now included being a photographer and visiting Japan. In next week's episode, we go heli skiing in Whistler.